So, what if you could build an automated service that brings in thousands of euros? And what if you could do it in like a single afternoon? Well, today we're diving into exactly that. We're going to look at how a really simple idea powered by some seriously clever AI was turned into a high value, hands off business.
And it all starts with this question. Real estate is supposed to be about selling a vision, right? But so many of the photos you see are just meh. They're flat, they've got watermarks all over them, the lighting is terrible. But what if you could automatically transform them? I don't just mean a quick touch-up, I mean completely reimagine them to make a buyer instantly fall in love.
And that's what we're talking about, 10,000 euros. That is the value of the workflow we are about to break down. An AI agent built in less than 2 hours that landed a 10,000 euro contract with a real estate agency. This isn't some far off future stuff. This is a real world look at what you can do like right now. I mean, this picture says it all, doesn't it? On the left, you've got that standard, totally uninspired photo that, let's be honest, most agencies are still using. But on the right, that's an aspirational image. It's the exact same space, but one sells a property and the other one sells a dream. The question is, how do we get from that before to that after, completely automatically? Well, it all starts with picking the right tool for the job. You can think of this whole setup like an AI orchestra. And for our first chair, we need a creative artist. We need an AI that isn't just good at making images from scratch, but is an absolute master at editing what's already there. And that artist has a name, Nano Banana. It's an AI from Google. Now, you've probably heard of all the text-to-image models out there like Midjourney. Nano Banana's superpower is totally different. It is built for image-to-image work. You give it an existing photo, and it can intelligently change it, tweak it, and renovate it. And you don't just have to take my word for it. When you look at the performance for this specific task, image editing, Nano Banana isn't just a little bit better, it's playing in a whole different league. And that superior performance is exactly why it was the perfect choice to be the creative engine for this whole project. Okay, but having a brilliant artist is only half the battle. You also need a conductor to manage the entire process, someone to tell the AI what to do and when to do it. And that's where the automation engine comes into play. For that, we're using a tool called N8N. Just think of it as the brains of the whole operation. It's a workflow automation platform that basically lets you connect different apps together. So N8N is the thing that will grab an image from a folder, send it over to Nano Banana with very specific instructions, wait for the result, and then pass it along to the next step in the chain. It's our conductor. So, how do these two completely different tools actually talk to each other? Well, they use something called an API key. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a secret handshake or a special password. It's what gives NN permission to send jobs over to Nano Banana, making sure everything is secure and, gets billed to the right account. It is the critical glue that holds this whole system together. Okay, so we've got our artist and we've got our conductor. Now let's walk through the actual automated workflow. This is the really cool part, where a boring photo goes in one end and comes out the other as a beautiful piece of marketing. The whole renovation is broken down into 5 main stages. First, we clean up the image. Then, we fix all the little flaws. After that, the real magic starts. We add the decor, we cleverly integrate the brand, and for the final touch, we set the perfect mood. Each step just builds on the one before it. The very first job for our AI is super simple but absolutely crucial. Get rid of that distracting watermark from the real estate agency. You can't paint a masterpiece on a dirty canvas, right? So the AI is told to just paint it out, creating a perfect, clean slate to start the transformation. Step 2 is basically a digital renovation. The AI scans the whole picture for anything that looks kind of ugly, scuff marks on the wall, some exposed wires, or that big clunky water heater in the corner. Then it just magically camouflages them, maybe by putting in a sleek cabinet or just some clean wall space. And it perfectly blends it in with the existing light and shadows. But hold on, this system is way smarter than just blindly editing photos. Before it even thinks about adding a sofa, this intelligent little filter kicks in. The workflow actually sends the image to ChatGPT and asks it a simple question. Hey, is this a picture of an indoor room or the outside of the house? And that one simple check stops the AI from trying to decorate the front garden with a couch. Pretty smart. All right, now for the really fun part. Once the system knows it's working with an interior room, it's time to decorate.
The user provides a reference photo. It could be a page torn from an IKEA catalog, anything really. And the AI uses that as a style guide to furnish the empty room, all while respecting the original room's size and lighting. It's virtual staging on steroids.
Next up is the branding. But instead of just slapping a big, ugly watermark on the final image, the agency's logo is woven into the scene itself. The creator of this workflow even said the AI even hides it behind the furniture as if it were really there. I mean, it's not just an overlay, it feels like it's actually part of the room. And the last touch, it's all about creating a vibe, an emotion. The AI is prompted to adjust the whole ambiance of the photo, to make the space feel cozy or maybe even cinematic. This is so important because it helps a potential buyer go from just seeing a room to actually picturing themselves living there on a quiet evening. So after an image runs through that whole 5-step pipeline, what do you actually get? Well, let's take a look at a couple of these incredible before and afters. Take a look at this bathroom. The original is fine. It's functional, but that water heater is an eyesore. Now look at the after. The AI doesn't just hide the heater with a cabinet. It completely reimagines the entire room with this modern, darker, moodier tone. Way better lighting. It just has a totally different feel. It's the same layout, but a world of difference in appeal.
Or how about this one? A hallway with some seriously dated paint. The AI completely understands the structure. It sees the railings, the walls, the doors, but it gives the whole thing an aesthetic overhaul. The result is just so much cleaner, more modern, and way more appealing to a buyer today, and it was all done without a single drop of real paint.
So what's the big lesson here? This isn't really just about real estate photos. What this shows is that AI is creating brand new business opportunities out of thin air. And when you add automation to the mix, it acts as a massive force multiplier, letting one person deliver a crazy amount of value. By just focusing on one tiny niche problem, you can build something incredibly valuable. And the best part? All the tools to do this are out there for everyone, right now. Now, of course, let's have a little reality check. This isn't totally free. Each one of those AI steps costs a few cents to run. And there are some technical rules you have to follow. For instance, the reference image you use for the style has to be the exact same size as the original photo, or you get some really weird-looking results. So it's incredibly powerful, but it's not pure magic. You still have to set it up the right way. We just watched this amazing combo of AI and automation completely solve a huge problem in the real estate world. But it really gets you thinking, doesn't it? This exact same logic, this same blueprint, could be applied to product photography, or fashion, or a dozen other industries. So the real question I want to leave you with is, what problem are you going to solve?